In this video, I will go over properties of a rectangle. The basic definition of a rectangle is it is a parallelogram with four congruent angles. So first, the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360. Divided by the four congruent angles means each angle is 90 degrees. That means a rectangle is a parallelogram with four right-angled corners. So let's take a look at the properties of a rectangle. Because it is a parallelogram, that means it has all the properties of a parallelogram in there. So just like parallelograms, opposite sides are parallel. So these are parallel. Just like a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. Which means this side congruent with that side. Just like a parallelogram, opposite angles are congruent. In this case, we know they're 90 degrees. Consecutive angles are still supplementary. So these two add up to 180, 180, these two add up to 180, and those two add up to 180. Got parallel sides here. Congruent sides. And diagonals bisect each other. More specifically, the diagonals end up being congruent. So what this means is for a rectangle, these three segments are all congruent. And then we said we have four congruent angles. So these are all properties of a rectangle. Alright, let's take a look at some of these examples. Example 1. Quadrilateral RSTU is a rectangle with diagonals that intersect at P. If measure of angle RSU equals 3x minus 5 degrees and measure of angle UST equals 4x plus 4 degrees, find the value of x. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this rectangle that they're trying to describe. So RSTU, it has two diagonals. Right here in the middle is point P. It says RSU, meaning this corner right here is 3x minus 5, and UST, this corner right here is 4x plus 4. We're trying to solve for x. Because it is a rectangle, that means my four corners are all right angles. So that should help us figure out an equation. We're going to have (3x minus 5), this top angle, plus 4x plus 4, this bottom part of the angle. Altogether should be a 90-degree angle. So there's your equation. Let me transfer it to my paper and we'll solve from there. Okay. So combine like terms, 3x plus 4x, altogether I have 7x, minus 5 plus 4, minus 1. Add 1 to both sides. I'm going to run out of room here, so I'm going to arrow over here. 7x equals 91. Divide both sides by 7. Let's see, 91, that's 70 at 21, 13. Alright. Number 2. Quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle with diagonals that intersect at point P. AC is 4x minus 13, and DP is x plus 7. Find the value of x. Again, let me draw, and then we'll figure out from here. Oops, not the screen. A, B, C, D. Notice as I'm naming my quadrilateral A, B, C, D, I start from one corner and then I go clockwise. Point P. AC is 4x minus 13. So this entire segment right here is 4x minus 13. Then DP, right, just this part is x plus 7. Now this goes on property number 7 of a rectangle. Diagonals are congruent. So this is x plus 7, means this piece right here is also x plus 7, and this piece is x plus 7. So the two pieces AP and PC, x plus 7 plus x plus 7, should equal my whole segment for x minus 13. Okay, because right here is AP, right here is PC, and right here is AC. We add the two pieces together to get my full segment. So let me write that down on my paper and we'll solve from there. Alright, on the left side, combine like terms, I have 2x plus 14 equals 4x minus 13. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and add the 13 because I don't want to deal with negatives. Alright, and subtract my 2x. Subtract my 2x and then divide by 2. Alright, next example. Quad JKLM is a rectangle with diagonals that intersect at point P. LP equals 3x plus 7 and MK equals 26. Find the value of x. So again, let me draw a quadrilateral real quick. Okay, it's a rectangle. JKLM. Diagonals intersect at point P. It's telling me LP, this part right here, is 3x plus 7. MK, this whole segment right here, is 26. Okay, so this goes with property number 7. Diagonals are congruent. Alright, and the other property from parallelograms, diagonals bisect each other. So this whole segment right here is 26. If I bisect it, cut it in half, that gets me 13. So this part's 13, that part's 13. And going from property 7, in a rectangle, all four segments for the diagonals are congruent, which means that this part right here is also 13. So now we can set up our equation. 3x plus 7 equals 13 and solve for x that way. Okay, subtracting 7 both sides. So wow. 6 divided by 3, x equals 2. Okay, so there's your properties of rectangles. It has the 5 properties of a parallelogram, and then 2 extra properties. 4 angles are congruent. Specifically, each angle is 90 degrees, and that the diagonals are congruent. Alright, so let me go. Alright, some examples. Number 1. Let me zoom in. Okay. Alright, so just like a parallelogram, opposite sides congruent, 24 up here, 24 down here, 10 to the left, 10 to the right. That means SR is 24, QR is 10. Then I need to figure out my diagonals, SQ, SQ. So this is a right angle. Alright? Which means over here, let me draw over it. It's a right triangle. I have my one leg is 10, the other leg is 24. That means I can use Pythagorean theorem to solve for my... Alright, using Pythagorean theorem, we have 10 squared plus 24 squared equals c squared. 10 squared plus 24 squared gets me 676 equals c squared, and square root of that number, c equals 26. That means SQ is 26. Then when we go PR, PR is the same as SQ, also 26. And then QT, which is bisected, 26 cut in half, 13. Right? So solving for sides or segments inside rectangles, you're going to see Pythagorean theorem a lot because we have that right angle. Alright, next question. This time we're working with angles. So let me start filling in parts I know. This right here is a right angle, 90 degrees. Which means we can do 90 minus 27, get me 63. Which means, let me erase this. This part right here is 63. Okay? Alright, just like with my parallelogram, these two being parallel means I have alternate interior angles. 63, 27. Alright. So let me fill in those. And then, because these two are congruent, we have an isosceles triangle. In an isosceles triangle, the right base angle matches the left base angle. 27, 27. And then same thing here, we have L and K is an isosceles triangle. 63, 63. 63 up here means 63 down there. Alright, so let me fill this in. MJK, that whole part is 90 degrees. MJL, which would be this corner right here, that's 63 degrees. JLK is 63 degrees. KML is 27 degrees. And MNL. So we haven't solved for this angle here yet. But we can focus on this being a triangle, and that my three angles of a triangle add up to 180. So we can do 27 plus 27, which is 54. And 180 subtract 54 gets me 126. So this is 126 degrees. Alright. So there you have properties of a rectangle.